So, we did like the one thing that we said we'd never do. We both agreed we would never do this thing.
Yep.
And then here we are having done it, and it's turned into a good thing.
Welcome to the Impact Defense Podcast. We're dedicated to giving you the information that you need to help keep you safe. Now, let's join our hosts, Brian and Jada.
So at the very beginning of COVID, or at least the shutdowns and everything, we had a student tell us, say, you guys should start a TikTok. And I'm like, no, no, we can't. No, I have no interest in that.
Well, that was in the middle of the very beginning when it was all the TikTok people were in the middle of Lowe's dancing in an aisle, and then you see the normal people walking by like, what the crap are you doing?
Well, there's still a lot of that going on.
There's
still that's a really big side of TikTok as well.
It is. TikTok was mainly that. And we were just going, we would be the joke of the martial arts and self-defense community. And so we go along with COVID, and we're making all these videos and everything so that people remember that we exist. We put them on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And they had a okay reach, but not anywhere near viral or anything. I think one of our memes made it to 40,000, and the highest we got on a video was like 10,000.
Yeah, and that's insane for us. I mean, that's something like that. So that picture that hit 40,000, that was a picture with a quote from a dude who's extremely famous in the martial arts. It's gonna help that kind of thing go.
Oh yeah.
And then, our videos were like some of the fight scenes. Our actual like videos where we're teaching people how to do things, that didn't go that well. In all honesty, in retrospect, and we're looking at, we built quite a following. Our Impact Defense page on Facebook has got like over 10,000 likes. It's pretty decent, which we were extremely excited for. We've been dying to hit that 10,000 point.
There for a while, we were just dying to reach 1,000.
True. But yeah, once we got somewhere, we got past 1,000, things started to really pick up. We're getting 5,000. We're like, yes. And we had that 10,000 goal, and we finally hit it. And then things kind of leveled off a little bit. But so we finally broke it down and tried a video on TikTok.
Yeah, because just like he said, our instructional stuff on any other feed was not really going hardly anywhere because people don't want to hear us talking about self-defense techniques. I guess it's just boring or something. Maybe they just don't like how we look. I don't know. But we posted something on TikTok. The first video didn't really go anywhere because it was...
That's not true. That's not true because we never would have posted another one if it didn't. So the first video was of you, and that's why you're saying that.
Right.
The first video was with you doing a flashlight. We're going, all right, let's make this video because it's a 1-minute video max. We're going to make this video. It's a review of a flashlight. Our goal was to just do this review of this self-defense flashlight, try to make it entertaining.
So it was a review that we had already done. We just turned it into a speed review where I'm basically doing one of those speed commercials on something. So it was just a speed review.
But it got 514 views in 24 hours. And that's that point where like we had no exposure. We didn't even have a profile picture up on there. We had our name and nothing else. There was no other information about us. And I didn't realize till later, it's like, oh crap, I didn't even put like a profile pic up. So our logo wasn't up there, nothing. And we got 514 views in 24 hours. And that was that moment I looked at you and I was like, oh, crap, I guess we're gonna do more because we have 10,000 followers on Facebook and we don't get 500 and some views in 24 hours.
Yeah, we had still at that point viewed it as a joke. Yeah. We're gonna make this and it's just gonna be, it's the new hot thing maybe. It was kind of it was going to be our joke account. And then the first video does that, which once again, for one of our videos, it did pretty well. Yeah. But then the next video comes out.
Well, that was that moment where that was like a Thursday or Friday we posted that one. And then the following Monday, well, we had decided, how are we going to do this? So, okay, we will like shoot some little short series of videos. And so we did come in Monday and I shot 8 videos with Kylie. So this was going to be a kids abduction prevention series that we're going to do. And then we had this women's abduction prevention. We had this just some general self-defense stuff. We had this thing where we were trying to get all these different aspects of it. And the next like 3 videos was like nothing. We had like 5 videos or views, 3 views and 2 views. And I said, well, that's dead. I guess we'll just, I'm going to finish posting out the rest of this series, but I guess we're probably not going to mess with it anymore. And then our 4th video was uploaded.
4th time's the charm, I guess?
Yep. So that 4th video went viral. We posted it at like noon that day. And like by 6, we had like 600 views. And I'm like flipping out. It's like, wow, well, no, I wasn't really flipping out yet. I was like, oh, wow, we have like 600 views. Wow, that one took off pretty well. Okay. Well, maybe there's still a future with TikTok. And in the middle of the night, that night, we got a call. And I ended up having to check. Well, I didn't have to, but since I was already awake, I checked. And we had like 3,000 views on that thing. And I was like, oh my gosh.
And you came into work the next morning.
We had 14,000 views. Yeah, and it just kept going. And eventually...
We watched it that day and we were just going, I wonder how high it's going to get by the end of the day.
Yeah, it hit 100,000 by the end of that day. And eventually hit almost, not quite, but almost it had 1 million
But
views.
as it turned out, the novelty for people, the thing that really got them interested in the TikTok was a kid teaching people how to defend themselves.
A kid teaching kids. That's what so many things have been. It's not been without its stupid comments.
Oh, yeah.
Which will be fun. We'll talk about some of those as well.
Because apparently anti-abduction is racist.
Excuse me. Yep. Don't say that while I'm drinking my coffee. Yeah. I think there's some just like when you have a tween girl looking at an early teen girl, and all of a sudden this girl hits a certain amount of popularity very quickly for something very positive. I have said before that I would prefer my daughter not be famous on TikTok, but if she's going to be TikTok famous, I would prefer it to be something like that.
That was when your view of TikTok was just, dancing in the middle of public places.
No, I would still prefer my daughter not be famous on TikTok, but if she is going to be famous on TikTok, I still would want it to be something for a good positive reason.
I'm still waiting for the day that someone walks up to her in the store and is like, you're the girl on TikTok, aren't you? And she's going to be like, Dad, what do I say? Be honest. Yeah. She's in the background going, yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
I don't know what to do in this situation. Okay. So since then we've had like, I don't know, 5 viral videos. Well, it depends on what your definition of viral is now. We have like 5 videos, I think that's over 1 million views. Some with like over 4 million views. So, but
that
like
fits in my definition of
viral. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like some of the others could be considered viral because they're up in somewhere between like 150,000 to, almost 1 million, but not quite crested that 1 million mark. But still our base number is somewhere around 30 to 50,000 views on most of the videos. That's kind of the normal. So I think when you're hitting, I would kind of consider anything up over 150, 200,000 views to be still kind of viral, maybe just not as big. It blows me away. Any of it blows me away as far as that goes.
It blows me away how overwhelmingly positive most of the feedback has been, because you look at some, because most of the time self-defense is kind of a controversial topic.
I didn't realize how controversial self-defense and self-protection really is to some people. I think it's stupid that it's controversial to some people, and I think that's the problem. It's the attitude that people have about self-defense. And that's what I'm learning while we're seeing some of the responses.
All I'm saying, I was not expecting TikTok to be the platform that was most overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Because you have so many more keyboard warriors on Facebook. I'm pretty sure we still have more negative feedback for the same content on Facebook than we do TikTok. And we have hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure right now what we're getting in a day on our slower days on TikTok as far as video views is still more views than we've had in a lifetime of views on every other platform combined. Because, you know, our slower days we get, I think it was about 120,000 views per day.
And even on TikTok, I still feel like we're getting more negative feedback from Facebook and Instagram than we do on TikTok. Or at least ones that make sense and are very obviously negative feedback.
And they're not just some
Usually
jealous
negative
little tween that
feedback-
wants to make a comment.
Yeah, usually on TikTok, if they make a negative comment, it doesn't hardly make any sense. And you know they're just trolling. So that is one thing that we've gotten more of on TikTok than other things is trolling, like trolls.
It's because there's a lot larger audience.
Yeah.
We went from we've actually been on TikTok now for like 4 weeks, and we went from obviously 0 followers to like almost 500,000. I think we're somewhere in the 470s, 480s,
Yeah, like
At this
yesterday
very
was
moment.
472, I believe.
something like that. I think we ended the day with that. So I don't know. And we have these times where it's just like it barely moves any, and then all of a sudden it shoots way up. You know, there's a video right now that's going pretty decently. So
And it's been nice for us, I feel like, because usually the pressure was on us for the content and everything to be instructing. But the reality is we're just the backup people on TikTok because they like Kylie. They don't.
Kelly, who are you talking about?
They like Kylie. And overall, I think Kylie, for being a young girl who's suddenly got some recognition, and like one little girl saying that she would absolutely flip out if Kylie directed one of her videos, you know?
Or
I think
some
she's
that
handled
flips out.
I think she's handled it very well.
Yeah. Or some of them that flips out just because they get a response.
Oh my gosh. It's like, do you guys respond? Yes, we do. OMG!
Yep, that was the extent of it.
Fangirling. Gotta love fangirling.
So anyway, I think it would be fun to address some of the more interesting comments we've had from either people who think they know what they're talking about, or just people that I think just want to see their name on a comment somewhere. Because sometimes I look at it and go,
It doesn't
Wow.
make sense to me when all they put is, that won't work.
Yeah.
That won't work. That won't work. And they do it on every single one of our videos. And I'm going,
that's only been a couple people. But yeah, they'll go to every single video and do that. It's like, are you just trying to set yourself up as an expert in the area and trying to use us as a stepladder to do so? Do you know, I actually talked to a guy one time, and I don't usually respond. And you always advise me to, hey, Brian, don't.
I know.
stop.
I just
But-
leave it at that. If it's a baseless comment, you don't need any kind of response to it. I just sit there and I delete them sometimes.
Sometimes it's just fun.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to screw with people who have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. And there was a guy who just
Especially
posted
when you have a newfound army.
Yeah. So there's this guy posted, says, oh, that won't work. And I was like, it was talking about like a choke against the wall. I'm like, okay, have you ever tried this? Or does, you know, or have you ever tried this technique? And he came back and he was just like, it won't work because you're not putting full force into it and trying to choke her. Well, she's trying to teach the technique. If I'm choking her in the moment, she can't speak. So how much sense does this make? And it just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. And I asked him a couple times, had he ever actually tried this? Or does it just not look right to him? And he refused to answer. And then I asked him again, I said, okay, do you have any training at all? Or anything? And then he's just like, you know, it won't work. You know, if it's not full force, it's not real. I'm like, I mean, I agree. We've already talked about pressure testing. We're all into pressure testing.
If we haven't pressure tested it, we're not putting it online.
Right. Or even teaching it in a class.
Yeah.
But it's just the same as if I'm standing up in front of a group of people and I ask somebody to come up so I can explain to everybody how a technique works. If that person tries as hard as they can to stop me, then they make me fight a lot harder. I can no longer teach. I am now just having to demonstrate how it's going to work, and sometimes it ends up hurting the person. So since we're doing this as a teaching platform, You know, there's no sense in us going up there and going like, okay, 100%.
And choking a little girl on TikTok gets you canceled.
It should.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that one. There's some times where I've seen some people get cut off of TikTok for stuff that I don't, I'm like, come on now. And we did have a video flagged because if you try this.
I'm pretty sure it was that
that video. It was, if you try this, it could result into serious injury or death. Okay. At any rate, we just kept going. I finally was like, oh, okay, thanks. And I just kind of left it there and then let everybody else kind of attack him for a little bit because it was funny to me.
Well, you just dropped a bomb of, do you have any training whatsoever?
Yeah.
And then he dodges the question so many more times. And then you're just like, okay, thank you. And that was your last thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to basically kind of prove that he didn't really know what he was talking about in the situation and leave it alone. I really wasn't going to do anything else, and I really wasn't trying to get people to sick him. It just...
Arguing with a fool makes you look like a fool sometimes. That's why most of the time we don't comment. But if you can loop it back around to that, do you have any base for this? And let people realize that he doesn't, it can do a whole lot better. And they did. All the comments after that were hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I did laugh quite a bit at some of that. And then...
Because you had some that were going, I believe the man asked you a question.
That may have been my favorite one.
That you feel like that's a cowboy moment, Yeah. It's like, I believe the man asked you a question. And then you hear the cowboy music in the background.
Yeah, that one, and to say, I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to actually take the word of people who do this for a living.
Sorry, but I trust the professional's opinion. That may make me weird, but...
So, anyway, and then we have the obligatory just get a gun comments, to which, sometimes, we're sitting in a situation where, like, we were doing one where I think you were sitting on top of Kylie punching her, and she was showing how to get out of that one. And someone was like, just get a gun. It's like, okay, if that gun is in your waistband or on your ankle, which is where most people carry, one of those two places, you're not getting it out and shooting the person. That person was actually really good. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I love it when they do that.
I know, it's very rare. Most of the time, if we've made sense of someone, they just don't comment back, But yeah.
All right, I had one of those a couple weeks ago, but that was on Facebook. And it was about the same subject again.
That's because we've already discussed this on the podcast multiple times, where I think that's everybody's favorite go-to. Just shoot them. We have a running bit on this podcast if people haven't figured it out yet.
Okay, so we have people very far on one side and very far on the other side. You have some people that are like, just get a gun and shoot them. Well, first of all, it's not applicable in every standpoint. You're not actually legally obliged.
She's 13.
I know. She
can't carry a gun.
She can't carry a gun, period. And so, yeah, some people on the far side that are just like, just get a gun, even though you're a 13-year-old. And then you have people on the other side that are going, hitting people is mean.
Those are fun comments as well. we just had one of
like,
those.
Oh, honey.
We just had one of those. Well, kind of. So we were talking about the keys, and we've talked about this.
Bless her heart.
We've talked about this. We talk about this at every single women's self-defense seminar. We talk about this at a lot of our other self-defense seminars. And we do it at the women's self-defense seminar so much because it's always told to women. It's like, hold keys in between your fingers and punch somebody.
Like Wolverine.
That doesn't work. Yes, that was. So I've been teaching that for years, how bad of an idea that is. I've had for years where I have punched somebody. I put keys in between my fingers and I punch somebody. Or let somebody put keys in between their fingers and they punch me. And just to show, it doesn't work. So we've done that on a video on YouTube and Facebook before.
And that actually did pretty well on Facebook, too.
Yeah, people liked that one. It was we tried our best to keep things kind of entertaining and funny.
Oh, we had Kylie start out this one on TikTok with, every girl has been told to do this.
Yeah.
And those videos usually do well. And it did. It's running pretty far right now.
Yeah, it'll probably. I think that's our next viral one.
Probably.
But anyway, she. So yeah, she started out like that, and then I come walking up, and she punched me. And some girl on there was like, is he okay? Is anybody not going to talk about the fact that she just punched him? Is he okay?
Is no one gonna talk about the fact? Yeah, it's up to 753K. Yeah, I'd say
That was posted last night.
Yeah,
so
it's doing pretty well.
it's probably going to hit the 1 million mark.
And we are now up to 488 followers instead of 472 like it was earlier. Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, the dad, I'm perfectly fine. Key folded down, no big deal. And then she was like, yeah, I understand the key folded down, but her fist still made contact with his shoulder.
She still punched him in the shoulder.
And that's when
Hard.
that's the moment where I come to the realization that I think most people have never felt a punch of any kind. And I don't understand this.
Are your feelings that fragile?
I don't understand. In all seriousness, I really don't understand it. I grew up with a brother, and he and I beat the crap out of each other all the time.
Yeah, I grew up with 4, and it was similar.
So, I just there was roughhousing. There, us and our dad. It was all this, and then my brother and I, we beat each other up constantly. I was older, and so I generally did more of the beating. But sometimes, he had a baseball bat or something, but I've been hit before,
Brian tells the story of being beat with a baseball bat.
He didn't get but a couple swings in. And it was one of those small kind of souvenir type bats. It wasn't like a full size. Let's get that straight. I forgot. I gotta, you can't read my mind, especially over the podcast. So it's one of those small souvenir type baseball bats. Still would. And still hurt like crap the first time he hit me, but he only hit me like 2 or 3 times. But anyway, take all that with the fact that, I also jumped into the ring and fought kickboxing and MMA. I'm pretty sure I can take a hit from a 13-year-old girl in the chest.
Except for that one time it was a flying knee.
That was different.
I think she broke my sternum. That is still one of my favorite videos that we have done.
Well,
I didn't realize the force a little girl could put in that.
I was shocked, and I've been hit by very large men before, and that one shot hurt more than most.
Take note, Brian has been hit on by very large men.
No, that's not what I said. I said I've been punched and kicked by very large men before. There's a difference. And I've only ever been dropped like one time in competition. That's a spin hook kick to the head. I went down. I hopped right back up, but I went down. But that flying knee to the sternum, I was shocked at how much force. And it could be the fact, let's be honest.
And you are wearing chest gear.
I was wearing chest gear. And it also could be the fact that there was no real adrenaline flowing. Adrenaline does a huge thing in a fight.
That was for a video. But all that to say, like, one punch from a 13-year-old girl in the shoulder is not going to debilitate you or hurt your shoulder or hurt you or even tick you off even slightly.
No.
It's kind of like if someone walked up and just poked you.
I would rather be punched.
But that's all with your experience. His life experience kind of brought him to the point where one punch, not the biggest deal to him.
Plus, since I instruct this stuff all the time, I get punched and kicked for a living. I mean, that's kind of what I do.
Oh, I had a kid the other day, I was holding a pad and everything, and he just completely missed the pad and hit me right in the jaw. And of course, I'm wearing a pad and everything, and so I'm expecting him to hit the mitt. So I'm not a kung fu master or anything, I can't just sense that his energy is going somewhere other than the mitt. So I got punched straight in the face. And of course, he felt really bad. But at this point, even me, a kid punching me in the face is not a big deal to me, and I am quite a bit smaller than you with quite a bit less experience.
And you've never jumped into a ring with a full-grown man.
No, I'm not. Surprisingly, no.
This is like the most off-topic podcast we've ever done.
But it's off topic on purpose.
I know.
It feels like Alice in Wonderland. It's our Alice in Wonderland podcast. Everything is so random, but so well put together. It all fits in the same story.
Like I said, this is the Jerry Seinfeld episode because they said that show was a show that ran for seasons and upon seasons, and it was all about nothing. It was completely about nothing, and this is our version of that. This episode, so this is just our fun episode. It's, yeah.
Going back to, I do feel like we have an overwhelmingly positive atmosphere built on TikTok.
Yes.
I have been so surprised at how accepting everyone has been and all the people saying thank you. And I have never experienced people fighting over being the first comment before.
Yeah, that's always wild. So we put one in and it's like, first. Wait, no, I was first. And they'll comment back and forth with each other. I have proof I was first, And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never expected to see this on our videos.
Someone the other day was like, 100.
Yeah, no, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like somebody saw that there was 99 comments and they had to go and make one. I was like, that's freaking hilarious. And I appreciate it, let's round that off, Yeah, no, so we have like several of these situations where it's just wild to see somebody duetting or stitching or just talking about the video. They come up and says, well, I was just watching this girl in America teach us stuff, and I was like, what? And then
that was the moment for me. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, and this other girl came on and was like, or this other lady came on and was like, I think I just took a self-defensive from like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. I just took a self-defense lesson from a 12-year-old. The one that really got me was this woman mentioned us in her video, and it was she had just gotten out of an abusive relationship, and she had to go back to her old house with her ex-husband in it and get her kids' stuff. And she said that he attacked her, and because of watching our videos, she was able to get away for the first time.
Yeah.
And every time I talk about it, it gives me chills,
Yeah.
because this is what we've been trying to do
Exactly.
this whole time. And with people actually using it and seeing that it works, I feel like we're finally reaching people. Mm-hmm. And it's funny how much more people keep making comments of, I'm so surprised that I'm learning this from a 13-year-old. It's like, yeah, we threw the 13-year-old in there because you didn't want to listen to adults.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Let's not act like that was on purpose. Let's not act like this was on purpose. This was all, I don't know if I want to say a fluke, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, and they just happen to absolutely love Kylie, which is so awesome.
Yes.
Because now we don't have to be in front of the camera except to attack Kylie.
Yeah, so it really shocked me. And when I heard that one, I had to let Julie, my wife, listen to it. And her face, she was just mouth agape, going, oh, like she was shocked at that.
I told my older brother about it, and I was telling him, he goes, that is so awesome. He goes, now I have to go make a TikTok.
Yeah.
So I can follow y'all's video.
Another one that got me was the lady that was just talking, and she's like, surely by now you've heard of, or you've seen this child.
Yeah, surely by now you've seen this child. Yeah. And I was just going, surely by now. She's that popular.
Yeah.
We've never been so popular that it's like, surely by now. Our goal before was to be that self-defense thing. If someone said that self-defense channel or that self-defense page, people automatically think of us. It's like, that was my goal. And now, when they think that self-defense kid, they think of Kylie. I think that's...
I'm not like sad at all that it seems like more of what we're known for at this point is the kids' self-defense stuff and abduction prevention.
And that's perfectly fine because it's starting a new generation of people being safe.
With that in mind, we're actually going to run like a virtual event. We're going to try, we'll see how that goes, but we're going to try to run a virtual event. I got some people I got to talk to see exactly what else we're going to need to do. But, we want to get this, aside from just putting out these little quick 1-minute videos. You can only get so much from each of these quick little 1-minute videos. So we're going to try to like do a full out event virtually and see what happens. So all that to say, if you're on TikTok, follow us.
Yeah, or on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
We're a little short on followers there.
We're a little short on followers everywhere but TikTok.
But keep following us on TikTok.
Yeah.
We got good stuff. Our view of TikTok has severely raised since starting it because we're seeing the good side of TikTok.
I want to be on the positive content side of TikTok, obviously. And at this point in time, it's at least as much of let's put positive content out to this area that may not have all the most positive content. But every platform's like that to an extent. It's just that it seems like TikTok was even more so, I think, is what it is.
We had a very negative connotation towards TikTok.
Yeah.
And we have been very pleasantly surprised.
I think it's because we both had a very negative first look at TikTok.
Yep. And so we apologize.
But guys, in all seriousness, we do ask that you will help us to, get the word out. Everything that we're doing, the podcast is free, the TikTok videos are free, the Facebook videos are free, YouTube is free, Instagram is free. We're not asking for money for any of it. If you use any of our links that we have in anything when you're buying stuff, that all helps us out. We appreciate that, but we're not requiring that from anyone. But the one thing that we're really, really asking from people is basically help us out by sharing the message. We want to get this stuff out there to people to help others to learn more about how to stay safe in any of these situations.
Thank you guys so very much for listening. We will see you in the next podcast. Stay safe.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Impact Defense Podcast. If you'd like to learn more about how to keep yourself safe, check out the articles, videos, courses, and seminars at www.impactdefensenc.com. We also do training for security teams, churches, businesses, groups, and more. Stay sharp, stay focused, and train hard.